Hi, how are you? My name is Jason. I don't live on Roosevelt. However, for a number of years, I've been mentoring a couple of young people with autism who, as part of their recreational activity, come here regularly. And as a result of that, me being their counselor, I'm here fairly regularly. I've always, admired the cohesiveness of the residents on this island. And as per something the first two speakers said, I would emphasize looking for more proactive measures so as maybe to help prevent things so that the police doesn't have to be relied on. I'm talking about things like civilian block patrolling, community involvement, in working with some of the young people who have some of the very same interest in being able to de-escalate situations. Out in Brooklyn, as well as in my own neighborhood in Springfield Gardens when growing up, we've had similar problems, only to some degree maybe worse, petty robberies, things of this nature. Basically, we organized with youth as well, block patrols, whereby we would approach individuals and just talk to them and encourage them not to do certain things on the block, whether it was an open container, whether it was drinking, smoking in front of school, church areas, and it worked. And I know in Brooklyn as of a few years ago, where in Bed-Stuy, where homophobic violence was a problem, many people, and again, most of these were youth. We have to have confidence in our youth. Got together, organized what we call safe parties to prevent conflicts from happening, and 99.99% of the time, the police
Can you wrap up your remarks, Jason?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. 99.99% of the time, the police did not have to get involved. So in short, definitely look to yourselves and look for alternatives along those lines. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Joyce.
Hi, folks. Most of you know that I'm the president of the Roosevelt Landings Residents Association. So I have questions that are more specifically related to the building. And as you know, I've been a diehard about locking the doors of the building. And I think that some of the problem that we have really has to do with the laxness. And I know that there are 49 doors in the building. So it's not that easy for our managing agent to keep up with the repairs on all of them. But it would really help if the public safety department every night would, have some way of recording what the conditions are for each one of those 49 doors, because you can get into anywhere in our building by coming in any door that exists in the building. The other question I have is, I know you have cameras, and I'm curious whether you have cameras that are behind Roosevelt Landings on the eastern seawall, because we have considerable problems with homeless people sleeping there in the nice weather, and kids doing things that they shouldn't be doing back there. And I'm sure you've seen the end result of the graffiti that's back there, often from the tagging from the kids hanging out there. The other question that I have for you is, Jack, is it possible for you to tell your guys, if they're in uniform, standing on Main Street, please don't smoke cigarettes, please. It's just a bad influence on our kids.
Fair enough.
Thanks.
Well, thanks, Joyce. I think you're one of the first tenant reps that I spoke to when I first got here, and I appreciate what you're saying about those doors, and we'll do more patrols back there. But something like that, and the easy access to urban American buildings, that's something that should be brought up as a tenant rep, if you don't mind my saying, with the management of the building. Will help. But if we're checking 49 doors, that means we're not doing the verticals inside of the building. But we will put more focus on it.
You need more manpower. You need cameras. You guys need cameras.
Oh, yes, good. Thank you. The area along the seawall is at the top of the list for phase 3, which we're working on right now. Lighthouse Park and the rear of the Urban American buildings are 2 areas that are on the top of the list. Thanks, Joyce.
Okay, thank you. Go.
First of all, thank
You're
you
on.
for hosting this and hearing our concerns. And I want to start by thanking Vivian. I don't know you personally, but you really put your finger on very important issues. And just to give you guys an idea of what it is, the 4th, 7th floors of those buildings doesn't matter the time of the day. I walk in with my 3-year-old daughter and it's a cloud of marijuana and cigarette. You know, they're there. I walk in the elevator and this is a cloud. And they tell me there's a camera there, but I don't know what's the action with that camera. So that leads me to tell you, Erin, since our management sent us a message with you, if you can please relay the message, saying it is unacceptable
Joyce?
that they are not here today. Not only they are not here, they didn't send a representative, they sent a message. They are not here, and that shows the attitude of that management in that building. So it is very telling what's going on here with that. I have to her message, which is the second part of the message that you said. I have sent pictures, I have sent letters, I have called the management of the building. I have never heard a response, never. So it is really unacceptable that she sends a message, oh, you guys, you're not reporting it. I have proof, I have copies of the letters, etc. And that was on this side. Now, for public safety, I know you guys, I'm one of the ones who calls a few times a week. And there's the issue that you come, you tell them, they go, and the moment you guys are out of the floor, they all gather back again. I wonder if there's any strategy, if you have seen also that happens, that they regather, and if there's any strategy in place to prevent that from happening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, right on time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The 4th and the 7th floors, because they have access to other buildings, are the most popular spots for the younger people. If we see somebody with an open marijuana cigarette, we'll make an arrest. If we smell smoke, marijuana smoke, and come upon 4 younger people, we can't arrest them. We have to actually see them smoking the cigarette. If they live in the building, we send them back to their apartment. If they don't live in the building and they're visiting with one of the other younger people that are with them, we ask them all to leave.
Okay, Adib?
Hi. So I have 2 concerns. The first one is we have to make sure that we do an educational campaign with the youth, because the laws are very murky about, you are allowed to carry some marijuana, and I think the youth might take that as, oh, and I can smoke it. So I think we need a very strong educational campaign.